Hi, I'm Lily. I think that I learned a lot in this class, but I would say that my biggest takeaway is about the importance of context in understanding literature. I think it was really helpful to not only read a text and understand kind of what the text is saying and kind of the way that it's structured, but also for us to try to understand what was going on in the times that the text was written, and also to learn about the author and to try to understand why it was that the author was writing that particular text in that particular time and what was going on in their life during that time. So for example, when we learned about Tennyson, I think it was really important for us to not only know the historical context, so for instance that it was in the Victorian era and that there was a lot of scientific breakthroughs going on at the time that led to some distancing from religion and some crisis of faith, but that it also was a time where Tennyson was mourning the death of one of his really close friends. And so kind of understanding that background really helps the reader understand why it was that Tennyson wrote In Memoriam, and the purpose of that, the message behind it, but also to help us understand kind of why he wrote it and why he was so sad, why it was that this crisis of faith was an issue that he wanted to talk about. I also think that it helps make kind of the most important concepts and the things that even today we hear about, it helps make it a bit more meaningful and impactful. So for instance, the line that we hear, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, that's a really popular line that I'm sure people who even they don't know about poetry, they've still learned about, but it makes it more powerful when you realize that this is him realizing that despite all the sadness, despite the crisis of faith, he chooses to kind of be optimistic and hopeful and to acknowledge that he's grateful that he met his friend at all. It makes that line way more powerful. And so I think that ultimately understanding the context and the personal significance of a text in terms of its author and the time it was written really helps the reader understand the text, relate to the text, and I think just to really enjoy the text more. I know that I personally found it really enjoyable once I understood what was going on. So I'm really excited that I learned that, and I think it'll be very helpful in future classes. Yeah, thank you very much.